Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Mark Causey here from Black Cat Comics in Rockin' Milpitas. Every Wednesday is New Comic Day and I like to give you some great reasons to go to black-cat-comics.com and pick up something fun to read. This is a very small week, probably the smallest week in comics that maybe we'll ever see. So going to blow through just a few things to talk about. This is Xcalibur Volume 1. This is about the only Marvel book on the list this week. But it's a really solid one, like all of this X-Renaissance stuff has been. There's a few of these Volume 1s out now. This is, of course, the Excalibur one. This and X-Force and the main X book are probably some of the more popular books from the series. So if you've been holding out on some of this X stuff, this is your chance to jump in and check out some of what's going on with that. We've been big fans of all that stuff. Hood Outlaw Volume 3 is similarly about your only DC book this week. Again, really solid title. If for some reason you haven't been following too much Red Hood, this is a good one to pick up. Like I've been saying when this book comes out, I like anything with Bizarro. Of course, you could pick up the other couple of volumes or just pick up this Volume 3. Like I say, that's about the only stuff for the big two, making it a great week to check out a lot of other stuff. This guy is most definitely Book of the Week. This is Negan Lives. This is one of your many Image books of the week. Small week for everybody else, but a big week for the Image guys. Everybody loves Walking Dead. Everybody's excited about this one. There's a super fancy silver version, an even fancier gold version, or you can just pick up the cool standard one if you're a Walking Dead fan and looking for the first new Walking Dead story in a long time. Speaking of Walking Dead, this big old chunky guy, this is your Firepower Prelude graphic novel from Robert Kirkman, who does a book called Walking Dead. This is one everybody's been waiting for. A few people have already got it on their list. If you don't, you're going to want to. If you don't know much about this one, you're in luck because it's also the first Free Comic Book Day book of the year. Free Comic Book Summer, I guess it is this year. This is the Image Free Comic Day book for Firepower. This is obviously your little taster of that big old graphic novel. Everybody that's got a curbside pickup, everybody that has an order will already have this one in their box. If you're looking for the Free Comic Day book, book yourself a curbside pickup for Sunday to pick these up. More info on all the Free Comic Day stuff at black-cat-comics.com. And All America Comics is your first issue, gotta have it Image book of the week. Because even on a small week like this one, there's always a first issue, gotta have it Image book of the week. And like I say, in the absence of the big two, there's a lot of fun stuff to talk about. Buffy the Vampire Slayer is a book I love talking about every time it comes out. Always pitching the Whedon verses over at Boom Studios. Buffy and Angel, the Firefly stuff is over there now. This is a good jump-in issue if for some reason you haven't been paying attention when I've been talking about Buffy and Angel for, I don't know, the last 15 months. So if you love the show like I do, or if you don't know much about this, it's a really fun title. Cool mix of horror and action and humor and all those good things. You can read more about that one in our newsletter. Red Sonja. It's another book I like to talk about a lot. Big fan of what Dynamite does with Red Sonja and with Vampirella, two of the great female characters of comics, and they do a good job with both of these books. And it's fun to pick them up both in the same week. Star Trek Year 5 is your IDW book of the week. You know I love me some sci-fi. You know I'm a classic Trekster. So really been enjoying this title. Everybody knows it's a 5-year mission, but the show only went 4 years, so they're showing you the last year here in comic book form. IDW does a great job with all their Star Trek stuff, so if you're a Trek fan, if you're a Kirk and Spock fan like me, you're going to want to pick that up. Storyteller Ghosts is your Archaea book of the week. Love talking up anything from the brilliant mind of Jim Henson. Really been loving all of these different Storytellers books. Great stories, great art, as I always like to say. Devil's Highway is your AWA book of the month. Book of the week, I'm sorry. Been talking up a lot of this AWA studio stuff. Sort of a new publisher, but they've got some of the top talent in comics. A little bit like Aftershock, if you're looking for something that's not superhero, a little bit of genre fusion, a little sci-fi, a little horror. Check out some AWA stuff because that's a lot of fun. And Marvel Action Avengers. It's about your only all ages book of the week. As you can tell, there's going to be 5 Wednesdays in July, and they're doing the 5th Wednesday a little early this month. 5th Wednesdays are usually kind of odds and ends things, but like I say, a lot of good books to talk about. Been loving the mashup of Marvel and IDW doing their kids line. They do Avengers and Black Panther and Spider-Man. They do Star Wars adventures. Lots of fun stuff. So pick this one up for the young reader in your life, or if you're looking for something a little more toned down from the apocalyptic stuff. And if none of that suits you, it's a great week to catch up on some of the big guns like Batman 92 and 93 from a couple of weeks ago. Folks that have been holding out on Batman have been jumping into this one recently, getting ready for all the Joker War stuff. Dark Knight Death Metal, the sequel to the other metal series from DC. That's the big guns. Or some of these 80th anniversary issues like Catwoman, or like this awesome Joker one, or my personal favorite, the Green Lantern one that you missed, if you missed it. And of course, Empire Avengers from last week. That's like Death Metal. That's the big new Marvel event. Going to be a lot going on with all this Empire stuff. So, like I say, good week for checking out something new, something different. Good week for catching up on some of your favorites. Or a good week for diving into one of those big events from the Big Two. And of course, it's just a great week to pick up your free Comic Day book, because everybody likes a free comic. Check out those shipping lists. Go to black-cat-comics.com, find the new release section, and pick up all the cool stuff that we talked about. Don't miss out on Comic Shop Talk Live this Saturday, 2 p.m., like every Saturday, where we get together live on Facebook and on YouTube, 2 p.m., to kick back and talk some comics. And tune in Sunday at 2 o'clock for the greatest live sporting event of 2020, Matchbox versus Hot Wheels. That's all we got for you for this week. Thanks for watching. We'll see you this weekend.